Right. Look, Dave, just had a quietish day. There's a few things banging around outside, but I've stayed indoors. I only went out once just to see what it was, but I couldn't see what was going on. I haven't heard any more explosions. I don't know what was going on there. So I mean, maybe we'll find out in the news sometime. Um, Washing the clothes, still got washing liquid. Bowls, good stuff. But also this bacteria thing that people sent me once before when I was low on this, and yeah, bacteria. No, it says it kills. It doesn't mention viruses, and that's what people have been mistaken with these things. So yeah, put that in. Use a measuring cup to make sure you get the rates on it. If you can see that there. It's just putting too much in, you're just wasting it, and it's not washing out your clothes properly. And this Bush has been a fairly good machine. It doesn't spin the clothes as dry as the old machine, but let's see how long it lasts. The other one, even just with me using it, it only lasted 4 years. And as I say, that was just me. So yeah, yeah. Right. I'm stick with these digitals and computers, but I'll leave it on this setting. I just adjust the temperature to get that flash. Give it an extra rinse. Make sure all the stuff's out of it, and then you just press the button and let it go and do its thing. So otherwise you're talking nearly 3 hours, and that's too long for a wash. So you just put the ball in there, so unless you've got powder or other stuff, you don't really need to mess up with that stuff in the drawer. So it just depends on what you've got. It's gone 11, 11. This changes automatically. You have to go around changing all the other clocks. I think of that fellow in the clock museum when he has to change all those hundreds or over 1,000 clocks. It takes him over a fortnight. I wonder if he's working there now. That's the thing, isn't it? Because they'll probably close that museum anyway, so yeah, it takes us over a fortnight to change them all. So when I went there, it was all the clocks everywhere, all packed in. You think how many there have been over the designs over the years, just to tell the time. You go back to the old sundial ones. All of them there. That's a good places to go. A lot of these museums, people only really go to them once. That's the thing with these things. So yeah, got the boiler on just to keep warm, and thinking about people. I'm hoping they're still okay, but I'm not holding up too much hope, because I would have heard from them by now. So you just gotta hope and pray. And some family, obviously, we've lost touch with, because obviously they don't live nearby, but you know, we usually do hear something eventually, and if there's something comes up, you normally hear. So I'm hoping they're okay out there, and that's all you can do. And as I say, the bush freezer's still working well, and then I've still got this little old Lek fridge from back in well, we got it with my love. That was over 22 years ago, second hand. So it just shows you all the old stuff is fine. It's the new stuff we're having trouble with. So I'm hoping everyone's okay. I'm putting up as much content as I can with the phone. I don't have a camcorder anymore. This is my hands on the reflection. So yeah, so I haven't put the grass seed down. There's probably those patches where the counter do. I was going to do that, but I don't know. So yeah, just keeping at it. Cat's been away for a few days. Fluffy did come back and have some biscuits. We've got one of the bit boxes left in there, so I'm okay with that. But hopefully those shops are going to get more back things. I've heard more reports of people that have been scolded for trying to bring back toilet paper that had taken, trying to get their money back. So yeah, they did not refund them. So they've had to hold on to the toilet paper. So it's biting them in the back, because they've spent a lot of money on that toilet paper, and rightly so. You know, those people are wicked. But the food situation for others, when I went to their houses, they've been starving before this fact of this virus thing. So you know, that's not the cause of that really. So yeah, what can you do with these things? And I've been trying to get my internet working through the phone, which is problematic. It drains the thing and causes it to burn out. As I don't have a landline, which is only still old internet. We haven't got the broadband put in. So that was the other place where I had broadband. They don't have it here. And I've got this Toshiba TV, which I put up a review about before. And it's quite good. I can't afford the Netflix or any of that. I can't access Freeview Play because they want your phone number and email, and I'm not prepared to do those things, like giving out my bank account to these other people. They want all of that. So yeah. So I got it coming up there, and I get things from that test beyond something or other. He does a lot of the Teslas and other things. He's over in Thailand now, yes. It says you got that air pollutant meter. I had one of those, and it gave out. It just died. I don't know if it was a battery or something, because I changed it and it still wouldn't work after that. It was the same box as what he had. Looking at that there, the pussycats. The contents that people are putting up, there's a lot of jumping on this other virus thing, but you really need to keep some symbolism, and you know, otherwise you're going to go nuts sitting in the house. And you know, I've been alone for 22 years. I know these things, and a few things on computers. I mean, I just looked at what comes up on the feed, but it doesn't always let you see what you want, and some things you don't. So if you look at one thing one time, then it keeps making you look for them again. And you know, just because you looked at something once, they expect, right, well, you're going to eat it forevermore. It's like this lady, her son liked mashed potatoes or something like that, so that's all she gave him. So there you go. But yeah, no, I mean, that fellow was just driving around. We try to keep things interesting and just keep people appraised of how things are going on around here, and just hoping other people are coping. That's all. And to remember just not to waste, and waste not, want not. That was my family's motto in the kitchen of the house that we lost, and the fireplace. And yeah, you think of those things that are all gone, and you know, even with that, it can still all be stripped away from you. You can always have less until you're gone, and even then, there are people hounding you after you're gone. So you've just got to live your life and do the best you can, and that's all you can ever do for anybody. So I mean, it's been a lot of stuff bothering with the council and other things for myself, and these other people, the benefits trying to creep into you. I mean, they take with one hand and they give with another, and I think it's repulsive. They just wish they'd leave me alone and let me go into oblivion, because they made sure my mother passed on, and denied her treatment and money, and going to give her something towards the end, and then that was that. As I say, they don't care about you. You've got to take care of yourself, and if you don't, you won't last long. As I say, you've got to eat properly and try to keep as active as you can, and that's going to do a better stuff. And of course, you know, walking around in the cold wind out there is not great. So there's things like that you know what to do. But if you can't get a car, then you're in trouble. So I mean, with the petrol prices, my father said one car to another was £40 difference in fuel, and that's a big gulp for driving the same distances. So you know, that's what you need. You need efficiency, and people might think it's boring, but at the end of the day, it's what's coming out of your pocket for what you're doing. And more people are going to start to say, hang on, these other things are no good. I mean, 13 miles to the gallon is not acceptable. And 40, 50 or 60 or 70, that's, you're getting more to what you want, and you're having to put less pollutants out. And there we are. But these electric vehicles are just still too much money for people to buy. And I've seen a few people with second-hand ones, and a couple of new ones, but not many. I mean, it's a big expenditure. You've got to have a wage coming in for that, and really it's only for the richer people at the moment, or the people that are buying it on tick. And we know a few of those that are doing that and making videos, and they come unstuck with, if the money stops drying up, then they'll lose it all. It's better to have what yours being yours, rather than owing it to other people, because you end up with nothing then. And it's better to have nothing to begin with, because if you can't be happy with what little you've got, you'll never be happy with anything else. And that's the thing you've got to have. It's want and want and want. The more you have, the more you want. And it's about what you need, not what you want. And they've forgotten that. And like when I had to say to that girl in town, her father was losing the coat with her. She said, I need this, I need it. He says, you don't need it, you want it. And he put her in place and stopped her, because she was going on until he would give it to her. And this is it. And just looking at the other thing, other people still hoarding canned goods, and it's ridiculous. They were just taking a load of them, and there was no need. Say people were struggling beforehand before this instance happened, and like my father had come out of hospital 3 weeks. He had no food, and I gave him something, and he never would have took food off me before, never. That just shows you. I mean, he was hungry. He really was. And he said, oh, you can have some of that right now. He was eating, let's say, 3 weeks without. It's just too much. That he'd come out of the hospital and be left to starve, and all the people there meant to be helping, you just sit there and let people starve. And so if I hadn't gone to these other people as well, that's it. They'd be finished. So what can you do? But I can only do so much. I'm only one man on foot. So I mean, they're not thinking about other people. They just cared about themselves, and that's not right. So I mean, I didn't take any money off anybody. I just gave them the food, and I went home. I just put the bags down, put it on the floor. I said, here you are, take it, and this is it. So I just went. I didn't go in the house or anything like that. I just left the foods at the door and went away. Just let them know that they were there, and that's that. But they should be thinking more of these other people, and people say they're going to help other people and they don't. And you think they're all around them and they're good guys, but they're really not. So I mean, you know who your friends are in times of hardship, and it's about, if you really care about someone, you do something. When you do unto others as you wish done unto you. Well, that's one true saying that never fails. And even if they wouldn't do it for you, you've done it for them. And so I mean, you've got a clear conscience in anything you ever do. So as I say, I take on things to people, and hopefully they can make use and keep themselves well. I was trying to get some more vitamins so I could absorb more food. Because of the illness I have, I don't absorb enough nutrients. I only get a third of the food nutrients that I get. So even if I'm eating a lot, you might say, well, why is him not putting on weight? My weight's static. So that's the reason for that. So I mean, I don't get some of the vital nutrients. That's why I needed those vitamin supplements and the iron supplements, because I haven't got the tablets, and I ran out the other day. So I had to get this other brand one, and it hasn't got as much of the stuff in it as the other one has. It's not complete, and I am feeling a bit for that not having it. So to say that, and also they put the price up as well, another £2.50 on it. So I mean that's a bit wicked. A lot of these places are hiking up prices, and they're getting away with it. So I mean, it's like £95 the other day I had to pay in Tesco. Normally I would pay 40 for the same amount. Or in fact, I would have had a bit more. In fact, so yeah, this is a bit wicked. But this is it. So I'm hoping other ones are going out there and don't panic. I mean, just get enough to eat for yourself. Just think when you're eating it, can I eat that? And is that more than I need? And if you know you're not going to eat it, don't get it. I mean, I see them buying stuff, just grabbing, and you've also got to look at the dates of food. You know you've got to be able to eat that stuff with that if it's fresh produce. That's why they're grabbing up all the cans and the packets and other things, because they think, oh, we'll keep that for all that time. But those things need to be paired with something else, and you've got to have those other things as well. I mean, people are being very short-sighted and close-minded, and it causes more trouble and panic. And then people get crazed and do awful things, and the mess is all to be cleared up afterwards, and it makes things 10 times worse. And then the government's got to step in and do other things to do things if people don't respond. And that's the thing. You don't want things to get to that stage. But if people keep being the way they've been, we'll suffer for that. So I mean, I just hope people can see sense and just get enough to eat and make sure that their loved ones and the people they know are not starving. I mean, you can just put a bag outside the door and knock on the door and tell them tell them they've got food for them, and then go away, and you don't have to be near to them. As I say, they can decontaminate the bag or whatever, but you put your gloves on yourself, you don't touch the food, and you've got your sanitizer, and you've got that spray thing, the disinfectant spray over, and the one for virus, not for bacteria. As I say, that's what people were making the mistake before. That other one, it says bacteria, the other one says viruses. I mean, we don't know if that stuff works on this virus or not, but as I say, you can take as much precautions as you like. You've just got to, some risks you've got to eat eventually, but you can go up to 3 months before when I was starved before by the government, and as I say, that was the limit of how long I could go without food. And I was at death's door, and another man gave me a rainbow trout, and he's no longer with us. And as I say, that you know just how far you can go with your limits, and you don't want to get to that point. But I mean, after 6 months, if things go bad, then we really will be in a state in this country, and it might never recover from this. And this is it. I mean, there's already so much gone from this country as well, with all the jobs that have been sent away from the country. I mean, I know I've lost them myself, and there's just nothing left here. In fact, the buildings have even gone. So, as I wanted to watch movies and stuff, but I can't even sit to do that. I mean, I've got YouTube working through the phone, but it as I say, it cooks the phone. So I mean, I haven't got a landline. I've only got as I say, through the 4G network, and that's getting about 2 bars at the moment. They said they were going to do some work on the mast. I don't think they have done it. If they have, then it hasn't improved any, unless that was them putting in the readiness for the 5G. But I very much doubt it. They haven't responded back. They sent a text out, well, 2 texts. One that they were closing their shops, and the other one this message about the repair on the cell tower. And obviously the mast thing, as I say, it hasn't improved any. And when I went to town, it was even worse. I was 1 bar or nothing. So if I lose any more signal and I'm out, that's why. As I say, if I don't put anything else up, that'll be what comes about it. But yeah, as I say, I know the phone died. I had to put the SIM card into it's the same phone, but reconditioned one of it, and as I say, I'm using that. So I mean, it's a bit long video, this one, 20 minutes, but I'm hoping everyone's okay out there. As I say, couldn't get onto Twitter earlier because of it just wouldn't log in for some reason. It said there was something wrong, but I thought it was a signal issue. But at that point, the signal was there, so I don't know. Maybe something else was going on. I don't know. But it came back on later. But it's just been very slow. It's very sluggish. So I don't know what more I can do with that. I'll do my best to put up the content, and I hope people are okay and look at my videos. As I say, do some potting around the house, do some cleaning. As I say, you're just moving things around, and the trouble is you just haven't got anywhere to put things. And this is it, because I'm 64 square feet less than what I used to have in living space. I'm wearing through the shoes. That one is that pair, and the other pair, and that's all I've got. So I mean, I'm wearing those out doing all the walking, which keeps you fit, but it takes so long to get around to places, to people. And as I say, I'm just doing as much as I can, but you're just aching for when you get back. You're a sore feet, and as I say, cold wind going through you, not too good. So I'm just resting back today and see what tomorrow brings. I mean, I should get another letter of you from those people hounding me for my money. They want to take my bank account away from me, and all the money I've had from the house, and yeah, to say that's another nightmare as well. I just wish the government would get off my back and let me live. I mean, they're bringing everyone down. As I say, what can you do? But I'm hoping more people are out there that are okay, and just know I'm thinking of everyone. There's other family across the world that we can't get in touch with. We got Auntie in Adelaide, then we got two in America, another one down in south of England near that Jeremy Clarkson. Then, in fact, two down there. Other ones are across the world, over Germany and India way. So, I mean, his family are far flung. They left and they just gone away, and that they do their own life. But it'd be nice to know if they're okay. I mean, I've stayed with some in the past, and lived there for a while, and while my mum was sick, and I just hope they're okay. I mean, I know one's 98, 99, and I don't know. No one's heard from her for quite some time, and we wonder if she's okay or not. So I mean, this is it. Something might have happened. I don't know how you'd find out with these things, because she didn't have internet or anything like that, and as I say, there's no way of contacting people. So you can only hope that people are okay. But whatever happens, you've just got to live with things, and this is how it is. Just to say, everyone's spread out across the world, and they leave this place because there's nothing left here in the old country, and the jobs are all gone, and this is it. It's quite dire, and it's no joke when you think of what was here at one time and what there is now. And I see that everywhere, to people talking, and you don't hold any hope when you see things like that. It's all down to greed at the end of the day, and it needs to stop. People need to think that just how much they're making about the bottom line, but look at what you've left behind. Look at the devastation. As I say, if people haven't got jobs to buy things and keep things, then there won't be anything sold anyway. So one thing leads to another, and you've got to find more balance than what there has been in the world. I mean, I hope I haven't rambled too long for people, but it's just your thoughts of what you're going through, and everyone else as well that you've seen. And I just want to hope that people not the suffering that gets stopped as well, because it can only go on for so long, and then things are going to get to a point where there's a climax, and it's going to come to an end, and I've been dreaming the nightmares. I don't want to go to sleep, and I haven't been, and every time I sleep, I've dreamt of something, and it's happened, and I don't want to, because I know what the next thing's to come is, and I hope it doesn't, but I think we all know what that is, and this is it. So I mean, I've been trying to fix things around the house that's broken, but obviously I just don't have the parts to do things. I can't fix the laptop, and I can't fix the desktop. I've got another one, but that needs a graphics card. When it was built, it was just for office use, and so it didn't have one that could run on the screens. It was just like a small desktop type, a low powered one for the graphics. But if I put it to try run it at normal speeds, that would be the end of it. Because this other one here, there's issues from the surges, but there was the other issue. The parts that you put in that were from China were no good. The other stuff was all right, but a lot of it was garbage. Same with that. When you see that word on the bottom of it, you just... the stuff I had from Japan that lasted years. The stuff I've had from Taiwan was okay. Other places, okay. Denmark, I've got an old tablet over there from Denmark. What's it called? Yeah, this thing's great. I put like a cheap screen protector over, but it feels weighty, and it has genuine metal back. But obviously it's too what's the word for it? It's too operating system and the RAM, it's just not enough. But it's solid built and it feels heavy. And why can't things be made decent today? I mean, the other ones, they actually bend and they snap, and they're so flimsy. And then the battery did last in it, and it's just because it's out of date, it doesn't function today with what you got to put it through today. But it's not that it breaks. I mean, it's just things becoming obsolete. But the things today you get are breaking as soon as you get them. I mean, that cost me £70 or something like that to get it brought and sent from Microsoft. And it comes with ordinary batteries. I bought the extra charger pack for it, so that's another £20 on top of that. And and then you see where it comes from. That's why these things are no good. So I mean, this is this. Well, I'm sick of buying rubbish. I don't want no more stuff, because it's all just, you buy it and you just got to discard it. And all the money you paid for stuff. I mean, there's no care and quality to these things. I mean, the old stuff, when it works, it just lasts for years and years, and you never think it's going to go. And all this other new stuff, rubbish. I mean, I've got an old what's it called? Philips radio. I mean, it's 1980s, and it still works. And 80s, 70s, 60s, anything old, you buy it up because it's gonna last. When those things go, you really get upset, because you can't replace those things, and whatever you're gonna buy will be junk. And that's not great. You're going to buy in a shop, and what you're buying is rubbish. I mean, I don't like to complain about it, but the fact is, you've spent thousands for nothing. You've got rubbish. You've got nothing. I mean, I had to put out new stuff, and you still got the old. And you think what garbage they're making today. So I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy anything when I see those words on them again. I will not buy them. And it's as simple as that. They've had the last penny they're ever going to get from me again. I'll do without before that. I mean, everything from there is garbage. and not just there, other places too. I mean, in that general area, the quality has gone down, and on general a lot of places, and they're just churning out rubbish, and they want your money all the same, even more. And I won't be paying for it. They won't get my money. I'd burn it first. So I mean, no, you've got to put your monies onto food, clothes, all these other necessities. These things can go away. When my phone dies, that'll be the end of that. I'm not going out and getting another one. I'll be done with the internet then, and that'll be the end of me. So, but on the internet at least, this is it. I mean, I'm not wasting my money on other things. I certainly won't be buying another phone. You know where they're coming from. I'm not going to have one from there. So yeah, I'd rather have nothing than have one from there again. So, I mean, this one's not Taiwan, Vietnam, and the other one was British. That still works, but it's just too old. Doesn't do internet. Then the older one still works again, as I say, but they make them obsolete. It's not that they fail. They just don't make them not able to use on our networks, so you can't even use the things. So I mean, it's just the big thing, and then they want them things off you to sell them to other countries that can still use them. And that's disgusting. So I mean, they're ripping you off always. So I mean, it just needs to stop. So I mean, that's why I haven't given those things away. Why should I? I mean, it's them that made them not work in the first place. So I mean, this is it. Like when they turn off the TVs, they won't let you use your old TV, so you have to get rid of it. I've had that TV. It was one of the first Hitachi TVs from back in the late 60s. The first colour TV, and the older black and whites before. They all worked. The flat screen TVs, 4 of them in succession went 2 years, 1 year, 3 year, and the other one, yeah, didn't even last a year. And as I say, thousands for those. And then this cheap Toshiba, I've had that for a time now. It's an okay TV. For the price I paid, I'm okay with it. But when you think of how much you're paying for these things, for what you get for them, it's a disgrace. I mean, I've got an old cathode ray tube TV upstairs. It's heavy enough to carry up there, clumbersome getting up the stairs, but I put that up there, and that still works, and that's 20 years ago. It still works as good as ever, and I've used that quite a lot. And you think of these other ones, you know, if you get a few years out of them, you're lucky. And so I mean, you know, they need to stop with all this, because it's just churning out rubbish. It's not made to last, and just for the next thing for you to buy, and it's just no good. I'm tired of it. I mean, if this one went today, I wouldn't buy another TV. I'll tell you that. I mean, I've had enough. I won't buy nothing. I've given up. And a lot of recalls and new other things like appliances. People's going on fire. They called them and said it's too late. My house is burnt down. I think, well, yeah. What can you do with these things? Well, this one's getting quite a long video now. So, but yeah, I'm hoping I can upload it. And I'm hoping people are well out there, and everyone, thank you to the ones that watch my videos. I'm hoping to try put more content out when I can, and try to put good stuff out there, but I can just do the best I can. And I hope you're all doing okay, and just try to keep it together, everyone, okay? I'll see you now, bye.